Hi there, welcome to Creative Bursts, your little bit of creativity for the day. I am children's writer and creative writing teacher Sarah Webb, and you're very welcome. I like to start my writing clubs with a quote by Roald Dahl, and that is, "Watch the world with glittering eyes. Those who don't believe in magic will never find it." So this week's theme is adventure, exploration and travel. And today we're looking at the sea. And I'm going to start by reading you one of my favourite poems about the sea. And this is called Sea Fever by John Masefield. This is the first stanza. I must go down to the seas again, to the lonely sea and the sky. And all I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by. And the wheels kick and the wind's song and the white sails shaking. And a grey mist on the sea's face and a grey dawn breaking. I would love to go down to the sea again. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find out a little bit about someone who was no stranger to the sea, and that is the wonderful Granuaile, or otherwise known as Grace O'Malley. And this is from Blazing a Trail, which is my book about remarkable Irish women. And this illustration of Granuaile is by Lauren O'Neill. So Granuaile was born nearly 500 years ago, around 1530. The sea was in Granuaile's blood. Her father, a powerful Mayo chieftain, owned one of the largest fleets of boats in Ireland. From a young age, Granuaile was determined to go to sea, but her father would not allow it. "You're a girl," he told her. "Your hair will get caught in the rigging." So Granuaile cut her hair all off. She was soon leading expeditions to Spain and Portugal to trade wool and cattle hides for salt and cloth. She became known as a fearless and gifted sailor and navigator. We'll hear more about Granuaile later in the week. So the first thing I want you to do is to write a poem or story about being on a great sea voyage. Now, have you ever been on a boat? Have you been on a ferry or a fishing boat or even a kayak? Or maybe you've been lucky enough to be on a sailing boat. So I want you to try and describe what it feels like to be on a boat on the sea. Are there waves lapping at your boat? Can you hear seagulls? Can you see whales or dolphins? You decide. So that is your first challenge. So your second challenge is all about swimming and being in the water. And I want you to write a poem or a story about swimming, paddling, or being by the sea. So I want to read you a poem which is by William J. Smith, and it is called Seal. And it's from this wonderful book, I Am the Seed That Grew the Tree. And it's selected by Fiona Waters and illustrated by Fran Preston Gannon. And the illustration of the seal is amazing. Look at this. What a stately looking seal, huh? So I'll read you Seal. See how he dives from the rocks with a zoom. See how he darts through his watery room. Past crabs and eels and green seaweed, past fluffs of sandy minnow feed. See how he swims, with a swerve and a twist, a flip of the flipper, a flick of the wrist. Quicksilver quick, softer than spray, down he plunges and sweeps away. Before you can think, before you can utter, words like dill pickle or apple butter. Back up he swims, past stingray and shark, out with a zoom, a whoop and a bark. Before you can say whatever you wish, he plops at your side with a mouthful of fish. I love the language in that. A flip of the flipper, a flick of the wrist, a swerve and a twist. Wonderful stuff. So your challenge is to write your own poem or story about swimming, about the feeling of being in the water. Then the third thing I'd like you to do is I want you to imagine that you are a fish. That's right. Any size fish you like, right up to a big shark. So you know the difference between how you tell by by the tail, whether it's a shark in the water or a whale or another sea mammal in the water. So sharks' tails go like fish tails. They go side to side. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Whale and sea mammals' tails go, you got it, up and down. So if something's very large, I'm going swish, swish, shark. But sharks aren't dangerous in Ireland. Very seldom are sharks dangerous, in fact. But we won't go into my animal facts. We'll save them for another day. So this is a poem that I really like by Spike Milligan, who always makes me laugh. And it's called A Baby Sardine. A baby sardine saw her first submarine. She was scared and watched through a peephole. Oh, come, 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 said the sardine's mum. It's only a tin full of people. So I want you to write a poem or a story or draw a picture about what it feels like to be a fish. So what you see, what you hear, but you are a fish. Imagine you're a fish. So that's your third challenge today. So thank you for joining me for Creative Bursts today. Tomorrow we're back with pirates, sailors and sea shanties, so don't miss that. And I'll leave you with my favourite quote by Einstein, and that is, creativity is intelligence having fun. So have fun with your writing.